After my husband passed, my son and his wife snatched the $29 million lake house and $41 million in stocks, telling me, "You're worthless now." They say grief can make you vulnerable, but in my case it just made me furious. The day my husband died, my own son and his wife looked me dead in the eyes, called me useless, and threw me out with a mere $200. They thought they had everything. Oh, how wrong they were. Because in just 48 hours, a secret will would be read, and their carefully constructed world would absolutely crumble. My name is Florence Hayes, and for over 40 years, I was the quiet backbone of my family. My husband, Robert, and our son, Daniel, they were my world. But just 2 days after Robert's funeral, my son Daniel and his wife Samantha tried to erase me from it. They tried to strip me of everything. They immediately laid claim to Robert's $29 million lake house and his $40 million in stocks, then looked me straight in the eye and called me a burden. I can still feel Daniel's hand shoving a measly $200 into my palm, like I was some beggar on his doorstep. And Samantha? She forced this sickeningly sweet smile, her voice dripping with fake concern. "Be independent, Florence. You'll get used to it." I packed 2 small suitcases and 1 precious wooden box. Inside that box was Robert's pocket watch, the only tangible thing I clung to. I stood in the living room, the heart of the house where I'd raised Daniel, cooked every single birthday meal, and nursed Robert through his illnesses. Daniel and Samantha, oblivious to my presence, were already measuring walls, discussing new furniture, as if I'd never existed there. The evening sun spilled across the hardwood floors I had polished countless times. I paused at the doorway, not to cry, not to beg, but just to remember. Then I walked out in silence, carrying 4 decades of my life in 2 small suitcases. On the porch, Samantha adjusted her designer sunglasses and whispered something to Daniel. He actually chuckled, as if dismissing me was just another chore. My son popped the BMW's trunk and tossed my bags inside like discarded trash. They thought they had it all: my husband's lakefront estate, his investments, the entire life we built. They looked me dead in the eye and said I was useless. But what they didn't know was that 48 hours later, in a lawyer's office, the real will would be read. And their faces? They would drain of every single ounce of color. I stepped off that porch, gripping Robert's pocket watch. His voice echoed in my memory. Years ago, he pressed that watch into my palm, saying, "When you feel reduced to just a wife or just a mother, remember that you were Florence first." In that moment, I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I let the silence answer for me. Because sometimes silence is the loudest kind of power. Let me tell you how I went from the useless widow to the woman holding all the cards. The motel room smelled of bleach and stale fried onions. The air conditioner rattled like a shopping cart over broken asphalt, and paint curled from the walls. I set my 2 suitcases down, placed Robert's wooden watchbox on the nightstand, and locked the door. Click. It was a small sound, but it felt utterly decisive. I smoothed the blue diamond bedspread, trying to let the day's grime slide off me. I focused on breathing. Small, deliberate breaths. Daniel's words echoed in my head, insidious. "You are useless now. Go find somewhere else to die." I pressed my lips together. I wouldn't let those words decorate this sad room. Wouldn't let them hang on the lamp like a forgotten scarf. I pulled a chair to the narrow desk by the window. Outside, a vacancy sign blinked erratically. I counted the $200 Daniel had shoved at me, folded it carefully, and tucked it under the full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.